So the last Mods Weekly of 2017, and I gotta say, we're ending on a high note. Maybe not the highest note. Last week or 2 weeks ago was really freaking good, but it's definitely not gonna be a weekend that disappoints. So what's up everybody, I am back with another episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. This is a series where I show you guys the best mods to come out each and every week of Fallout 4. And actually no, looking at the mod list, I think this might be the best Mods Weekly of this past year. Simply because the mods that released this week are gonna add in tons of hours of replayability. A number of these you'll probably still be using a few weeks or even months from now. But yeah, it's rare shit. If you guys do enjoy the video, you can leave a like or a comment. One other thing I just want to kind of mention, I'm doing a small giveaway of $100 for mod authors. I want to do a kind gesture to give back to the community. I'm doing it on the Fallout Mods subreddit, so you can check that out. I'll have it linked down below, but it is only for mod authors. You have to prove you're a mod author by posting a mod you have posted at any point for any of the Fallout games, including Fallout Tactics 2, etc. But yeah, starting things off, we have Sim Settlements Rise of the Commonwealth. Full disclosure, I didn't get enough time in this mod to actually do a proper coverage of it. Tomorrow I'm actually going to do a live stream where I play through a lot of this and get really more in depth with it. I didn't want to just kind of give you a summation. So what this is going to be, just a shout out, download this mod if you haven't. The short version is it's basically going to allow you to create truly living settlements. Basically you could assign a settler to run that settlement and it'll grow without your intervention. But again, I'm going to have a full video coming on this later on and I don't want to give it like haphazard review. What I'm showing you in the background is actually like the quick start guide posted by Kinggath. You can find a link to that video down below as well as his channel. He posts some really cool content on there all around sim settlements, so subscribe if you haven't. So we have the winter overhaul. I made a full video on this earlier in the week, so I'm going to be pretty brief with my coverage this time around.
So full of desperation, I can barely stand the rotation. I can hardly start to speak, I'm weak.
More or less what this is going to do is overhaul the Commonwealth, bringing winter to it. The major part of this that actually separates it from other winter overhauls is this one doesn't just retexture the ground. A lot of other options out there actually make the trees look much more dead, as well as make the ground look white and snowy. This one's actually going to go even a step further to retexture some of the different buildings, some of the different settlement objects. Some of them go a little bit extreme. They're really a washed out white, but at the same time, as you're exploring through the Commonwealth with this installed, it truly feels like it's winter. Some of those other mods out there just make it look like the ground is winter, while a lot of the items and objects don't really have a snow covering, which just really isn't on the same level as this one. It's really the best winter overhaul right now. It definitely has some faults for the time being, but I've been using it. It's a ton of fun and you could really get immersed into the game this way. Then we have Fallout UIF. This has been a massive overhaul mod that's been a work in progress for many months or even a year now. What it's going to do is add in a new faction into the game, the UIF. They're like the antithesis to the Brotherhood of Steel. You have to choose if you want to side with the UIF or the Brotherhood of Steel. And I don't want to spoil too much because it is a quest mod, but more or less what it's going to do is adding these new troopers all over the Commonwealth, as well as a totally new quest line with this faction. There's even an ending associated with it. It's really like a fifth major faction added to the game, in addition to the Institute, Railroad, Brotherhood, and Minutemen. It's a ton of fun to do. The voice acting is actually really good. I feel like that's something a lot of other mods get pretty wrong. In addition, it adds in some custom armors and weapons. They're fairly simple, very similar to the vanilla options, but the touches are really nice on this, as well as it adds in a ton of new content to explore and experience. If you haven't downloaded this already, and I know a few of you haven't because it's not getting too many downloads, I would definitely recommend doing so. I played only a few hours of it, but it's a ton of fun and I would highly recommend experiencing it.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Yes.
Open fire! Oh, this is loco!
Then we do have Old World Radio 2. A lot of you guys probably know about Old World Radio. They actually have a YouTube channel. I'll have that link down below. If you're ever playing a game and want to listen to, Fallout classics or just Fallout themed things, you can find it there. They pretty much live stream 24/7. More or less what this is going to do is add in more of the same, some new radios and some new songs to really spice up your Fallout 4 experience. I'm not big on radio, so I'm just going to kind of shout this one out also. I don't use them personally, so it's kind of hard for me to be objective about them because I'll just be overly negative. But either way, it's a really cool mod if you're into that kind of thing, and it's honestly a lot better and a lot more expansive than some of the other versions out there. Then we do have another skin pack by O'Deer. His last one was for the AK-5C. This one's going to be for the SVT-40. What it's going to do is add in 4 new skins for the SVT-40 that are all fairly basic. None of them are super loud or extreme like some of his other skins for the AK-5C, but this is only the volume 1. He typically is going to release other volumes, so more skins are coming. But either way, if you're a fan of the SVT-40, I would really recommend downloading this because they're all pretty lore friendly, they fit into the gun really well, and that is a great gun to be using, so you should check it out if you haven't already. Last but not least, we do have Atomic World. This isn't getting a ton of attention either, and I really don't know why. Atomic World's going to add in a ton of new locations all over the Commonwealth, specifically 40 exteriors as well as 20 interiors, and more are coming according to the mod author. A lot of these locations are really lore friendly. There's some that are just kind of little camps where you'll find some raiders to take down or something like that, but some of the really cool ones are outposts he created for specific factions. In the background, you can see me exploring a Minutemen outpost where there's just kind of a bunch of Minutemen. As enemies do walk by, they will get into some minor conflicts, but otherwise, it's just a bunch of Minutemen stationed at a location. There's also enemy faction locations like a gunner outpost and things like that, and a lot of other just general neutral locations. This is a really cool mod. It's actually a great mod, I think, to download and just start a new playthrough with. You'll find just more locations as you're exploring through the Commonwealth. A lot of those once dead areas are now a little bit denser with some more things along the way. Yeah, so we're just going to wrap it up for this video. That's 2017 in a wrap. Now moving on to 2018. Got a ton of new content coming over the next week or so. I'm going to probably take it a little easy, but then we're getting back into Skyrim, as well as I do want to live stream more. I've been sick, but I'm finally starting to get over it, so that's, good. Again, if you are a mod author and do want to enter into that giveaway, I will have it linked down below. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As always, I thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.